Want the best XDefiant loadout? I've got you covered. We've got 6 loadouts today that focus on different roles, taking advantage of the best of each of these roles. We have a up-close running gun loadout with the MP7. We have a movement-based ACR, which is the most versatile build in the game. We have a longer-range AK build. We have a sniper build and also an objective focus build if you like to focus on the objective. And then we have a 6th build, which is, well, we'll wait till the end for that one. So let's start this off with the first short-range run-and-gun build. This build focuses on being able to move around as quickly as possible, deal as much damage as possible, while still staying alive amongst the chaos. It all starts with the MP7 and muzzle booster alongside the rapid fire. These two together allow the MP7 pure damage and time to kill to be boosted massively. You get a 7.5% increase with both of these combined. Now, it is going to affect the recoil, but that is not a big deal because you're going to be up and close in people's faces anyway. With this loadout, the recoil is not a problem. Next up, we go with the leather-wrapped front rail. This is going to allow us to focus on another element of this build, which is ADS walking speed. That means when you're ADS, you're going to move faster, strafe more, and dodge more bullets. Optic, there won't be an optic for this build because the iron sights on the MP7 are pretty good and you only get 5 attachments, so doing this allows you essentially to have more power in other elements of the gun. We also won't have a magazine because the base 30 rounds is more than enough. And if you look at this, quick mag sounds good, but the reload speed on an SMG is only an extra 0.3 seconds. Now, we'd rather just not have a magazine so that we can put more power in the other elements of the build. Trust me, you got to try this. It's really worth doing. You'll start to realize that you don't need to reload as often as you think you do. Now, we're going to get the leather wrapped on the grip, which gives us more walking speed whilst ADS. And finally, can you guess, the lightweight stock, which gives us even more movement whilst ADS. So, the goal with this loadout is to run around as fast as you can, ADS everything, and you'll be knocking players crazy fast. So, besides that, what else do we want to do? What faction should we play? What grenade and all that stuff? I think the frag nade is the best. It's honestly the most versatile option. It's really good at stopping defenses, really good at throwing nades around corners when you need to run away and someone's chasing you. Secondary, you can go with whatever you want, honestly. Because this MP7 has great movement speed anyway, you don't really need to worry about using a pistol at all. You really never really need to do it. Now, for the faction for this build, I honestly think you should go for Cleaners. The Cleaners passive gives you more damage over time if you're up close. Now, if you're longer range, you lose out on damage, but we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be up close anyway with this build. So extra damage combined with the faster fire rate on the MP7 we've just built means even more damage for the fastest time to kill you can possibly imagine. We also go for Firebomb for the activated ability. This basically is a, oh no, I missed my shots button. All you need to do is just press it if you miss some shots and jump around like crazy, and anyone near you will die. It's also great at basically causing a bit of a mess inside a zone. Let's say you're playing Occupy and there's a whole team inside. If you can run in behind them and activate this, they'll all die. It's really, really strong. And it pairs really well with this close range sort of loadout that this MP7 build is focused on. Next, we move on to what I call the most versatile build in the game. This is focusing on allowing you to cover all elements of gameplay: close range, long range, short range, medium range, getting the objective, going for kills, everything all in one. It is the most versatile weapon I can think of building. It uses the ACR, which in my opinion is the best gun in the game. It's not as high damage as the AK, but it's pretty close, and it has better handling, which means you are going to have better control, longer range than you are with the AK. However, it's not as good handling as an SMG, which means up close, you're going to struggle. So we're going to choose some attachments that help you to ensure you have better handling up close so it can compete with the SMGs. There'll be no muzzle and no barrel because these can affect the handling that we don't want to deal with right now. This is a build that basically allows the ACR to be a little bit more useful up close because long range it's already really good. First, you take the lever wrap, so you get more ADS walking speed and ADS stability. This is going to do two things. The walking speed, once again, is going to allow you to move faster up close, so you can compete with those fast-moving SMG players. The ADS stability will mean there's less of this shaking when you're firing, making a long range a little bit easier. Reflex optic, I think this is really important. You want that clear sight picture. You can go for the hollow, but personally I'm a reflex fan. Quick mag. Now, quick mag on ARs is pretty important. Not only do you get more ammo in this, but the reload speed is going to be a lot more handy. As you can see with these stats here, you save 0.3 seconds. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it starts to add up when you have a longer reload on these higher, sort of slower reload weapons. So I think it's really important. You could do the fast mag, but you're going to lose out on a lot of ADS speed. You could try it if you want to, but I don't think it's worth it because, once again, we've got to try and compete with SMGs with this loadout, right? We want to use it up close. We want to use it all ranges. If you add too much ADS speed, which is how long it takes to aim down sights, you're going to start to struggle as you build up more minus ADS speed. So I think quick mag is the best. The grip we go for is lever wrapped for more ADS walking speed again. So once again, you're going to move faster when aiming down sights, so you can compete with that fast movement speed of the SMGs again. And the stock is lightweight, so ADS walking speed and movement speed. Once again, that's going to give you more up close movement speed. So the ACR is already really amazing long range, so we've got a little bit more ADS stability with this. The lightweight kind of counteracts it a little bit, unfortunately, but overall, you got really fast ADS movement speed with this. So all you have to do is every time you shoot a player, ADS and strafe like crazy, and you're going to come out on top in most fights. Now, for the pistol, I would go for the M9. The M9 has the fastest movement speed out of all pistols. So whenever you need to move from point A to point B, put your M4 away, sorry, your ACR away, and get your pistol out because it's going to allow you to move faster. I go for frag grenade again. Now, you could do sticky nade if you wanted, but frag grenade to me is the most versatile. You can use it to kill enemies. You can cook it and throw it on objectives and clear it out very easily. Definitely the best nade in the game, in my opinion. It's the most versatile. Remember, this is the versatile build. Now, for factions for this build, we are going to go for Libertad. This is the best legend or faction in the game in most circumstances. This healing ability here, throw a revitalizing gas canister that heals friendlies until destroyed or cancelled, is so strong. It allows you to stay alive for longer than you should do. It allows your teammates to stay alive for longer than you should do. You can put it on a corner as you peek into an objective. You can put it inside the objective itself if you're defending. There are so many cases where this is going to allow you to stay alive for longer, and it's just really strong. So you'll see that in other builds as well. Next up, we have a really powerful longer range AR build. This is not really going to be so good on smaller maps, but if you're playing escort or longer range maps, you may want to have this build on the side because it's going to be really handy in some cases. First, we go for muzzle booster. This is going to give you a little bit more fire rate on the AK to make it more powerful. We won't have a barrel though, because that gives us more room for other attachments. We move on, we get the angled grip. Basically what we're doing with this build is to have a really nice stable aim, longer distance with the AK, so that we can focus on getting headshots and clean damage and just killing players as quick as possible all across the map, right? So the angled grip is going to give you ADS stability, so your aim isn't shaking too much, so it's easier to hit shots long range. It also has a bit of horizontal recoil control, less movement speed, but this build is not for close range, it's for longer ranges. It's for that loadout on the side where you're like, right, there's some long range angles in this game right now. Let me switch to this real quick so I can deal with these snipers or whatever. 3x scope, because, like I say, longer range distances. This is what it's going for. Magazine, no magazine, because we want to have more stable aim. We're not going to need a mag. We're mostly using this for sort of longer distances. So if we need to reload, no one's going to push us by the time we've reloaded anyway. We're going for a fabric grip, which gives us faster ADS speed, so we're zoomed in quicker, quite important when we're using a longer range scope, and more ADS stability once again. And then the stock, can you guess, as much ADS stability as possible with the padded stock. And basically, this is going to give you the most stable sight picture long range with the AK, meaning you can laser beam people, you can get long range damage, no problem. Now, I would pair this build with the frag grenade again and the M9. So once again, you can run around really quickly if you need to. And honestly, I would still go for the same faction, the Libertad faction with the El Remedio passive, or the tactical, sorry. That amazing healing power is really good. And if you set up long range and just throw down your tactical, you can put so much suppressive fire on all players across the map. You can even do it in the arena map. I've had some surprising success with it, because every time you get shot at, you just go behind cover, wait to heal, and then peek again. It's really, really strong. Next up, we have the sniper build. You definitely want to go the TAC 50. It's more damage. You are going to one-shot people more often with this. In fact, every single time, unless you hit them in the legs. That's not the case with the M44, so keep that in mind. Muzzle, we're going to go for light suppressor. To be honest, no muzzle is really important. Like, you don't really need to bother about this much. Barrel, once again, I think nothing's important here. You could go for the heavy barrel if you wanted. That will do a bit more damage, but you're one-shotting anyway. So basically, you don't need any of this stuff. I don't think any of these barrels are really going to help much. Perhaps the ADS speed, the lightweight barrel could be good. But, you know, then you lose out on damage long range, so that's not so great. Honestly, no barrel to me felt the best. Sniper scope, you can go for the 12x. It is a bit long, though. You may want to go for the 4 to 8x zoom. Surprisingly, I found myself doing really well with the 12x, so I kind of stuck with it. Magazine, quick mag, or even fast mag. It depends on how you feel, because you want to be reloading as quick as possible, and that slow reload time is really going to slow you down at times. Rear grip, we've gone with fabric. I kind of realized that if we ADS as quick as possible, it's going to help, right? So if we can aim down sights quicker, that's going to be useful. Because there's no real good stocks for the sniper to help you with ADS speed, I've just gone with the one that provides the most benefits. Honestly, this weapon is so strong stock build without any attachment, so you don't need to worry too much about that. Now, for grenades, I've gone for the EMP grenade this time, because you'll face a lot of phantom players and you can't just fire a full auto weapon to destroy the shield, so throwing an EMP grenade will allow you to then snipe them quickly. So to me, EMP with a sniper build works the best. As for the faction, honestly, I mean, you could do Phantom with a shield yourself if you wanted, but once again, I feel the healer class with the El Remedio tactical is still the absolute best. It's just so good. It is probably the strongest in the game, in my opinion. Now we move on to what I call the objective-based build. If you like to play objectives, this one's for you. It starts with the AK-47. It's doing the most amount of damage possible with this thing by combining the muzzle booster and the rapid fire to have fast fire rate. I feel like when you're playing the objective, you're up close and personal, so you don't need to worry about long range engagements too much. You can also apply the hand stop with it. This will give you better ADS stability, so you're able to hit more shots. Once again, you're playing the objective, so you don't need necessarily to be out in the open jumping around much, so the 5% movement speed is not a big deal. Reflex sight, really important. You definitely want that better sight picture on the AK. It's hard to aim without it. Magazine, I haven't gone for one. Rear grip, I haven't gone for one. You could take a mag, but I don't think it's necessary. I'd rather have more stability. So if you notice, stock, ADS stability, ADS flinch control, hand stop, ADS stability. So it's just going to give you better aim. It's just going to be easier to hit your shots because your aim isn't shaking all over the place. And in this game, headshots are really important. They're like really high damage. It's really important to try and go for headshots. So I think that's more important than trying to have like better ADS speed or a better movement speed if you're going for a high damage build like this anyway. Secondary, M9 for the faster movement speed again. And then we got the prox mine for the device, because this is really strong. Like if you're set up in the zone, you're going to want to put this down to stop anyone pushing you from behind. Really, really useful. And most of the time, it's going to pick up a bunch of kills without you even really doing anything. For factions, we actually go for phantoms, and we're going to take the mag barrier. Having this to push and defend objective points is so strong in this game. It really is very, very powerful, and it's going to help you hold objectives so much better. Now we have the 6th build, which is the best build in the game. Can you guess what it is? It is whatever works best for you. Yes, you can try every single gun in the game, and guess what? They may work for you, and they may not work for someone else. So, whilst the builds I've suggested in this video are a guideline for what may get you started, the most fun you're going to have and the most success you're going to have is if you just build your own loadout. So if you have no idea where to start, consider these first 5 options, pick one that sounds the best for you, give it a go, and then adjust. Try different factions, try different weapons, try different attachments, try different gadgets, see what works best for you, and that's where you're going to have the most fun in the game anyway. Hopefully you found this video useful, and I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio!